Yo guys, welcome to Ashton Fitness. Today I'm going to be talking about how often to train the front lever. A question I get asked a lot is how often do I train the front lever? So in this video, I'm going to explain how frequently to train it for the most efficient progress. If you enjoyed the video, then remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really enjoy it, then make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever your favorite social media platform is so that they can learn how often to train their front lever too. When training for the front lever, it's important to practice front lever progressions often. How often you practice them will depend on your level of ability, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But first, I want to talk about why it's important to train them often. The front lever is an incredibly alien and challenging skill for your body to hold. There's nothing in your day-to-day life that even comes close to replicating the strain that the front lever places on your body. Therefore, it's important to train it regularly so that your body, muscles, tendons, and joints get used to the strain that the front lever places on them. Now, as I said before, how often you train the front lever will depend on your level of ability. If you're a beginner, then it's likely that you'll make the most progress by training the front lever 1 to 2 times a week. However, if you're a more intermediate calisthenics athlete, then it's likely that you'll make the most progress by training the front lever 2 to 3 times a week. The reason why it's better for beginners to train the front lever 1 to 2 times a week is because when you first start training the front lever progressions, they are very intense and therefore your body needs time to get used to them. Training them 1 to 2 times a week will allow your body to get used to the front lever progressions while you focus on other aspects of your training as well. When I first started learning the front lever, I would train it 1 to 2 times a week just to get my body into the groove of learning it. I'd space out my training sessions across the week to allow my body to recover fully before I attempted it again. It's important to give your body time to rest in between front lever sessions because it is a very intense skill. Therefore, I'd leave a couple of days of rest in between each front lever session to give my body time to recover. For example, I might train the front lever on a Monday and then give my body a couple of days of rest in order to allow it to recover, and then on a Wednesday or a Thursday, perhaps depending on how my body is feeling, I would then train it again. When you're a beginner, it's important not to rush and it's important to allow your body to get used to holding the front lever progressions to avoid injury and to help you make efficient progress. However, as your muscular strength and endurance improves over time and you get more and more comfortable with front lever progressions, you can then bump your training up to training the front lever progressions 2 to 3 times a week. For intermediate calisthenics athletes, this is a training frequency that I'd recommend for the front lever because it makes it easier to make progress with your front lever training. The more often you train it, the more efficiently you'll make progress. So training it 2 to 3 times a week allows you to train it regularly while giving you enough time to rest in between training sessions so that you can train it safely. When training the front lever 2 to 3 times a week, what I might do is I might train it on Monday, give myself 1 or 2 days to recover, then train it on Wednesday, give myself another 1 or 2 days to recover, and then train it again on Friday. That way I train it regularly whilst also allowing myself time to recover in between my training sessions. This of course is just an example, and how often you train it will depend on how quickly you recover, how often you train in general, how often you train other muscle groups, because if you're training other muscle groups then you may feel a little bit more fatigued, so you may have to rest a little bit longer. This is just a general guideline, but the bottom line is that the more often you train the front lever, the easier it will be to make progress and the more efficiently you will make that progress. For me, I found that training the front lever 3 times a week works best. Training it any less than 3 times a week means that I make much slower progress with my front lever training, and likewise training it any more than 3 times a week means that I don't give my body enough time to recover, and that can set me back as well, because if you don't give your body enough time to recover, then you hold front lever progressions with slightly less better form. That was terrible grammar, but you know what I mean. You hold it with not perfect form, and then that increases your chance of injury, and of course if you get injured, then you're not going to be training the front lever, and therefore you're going to make even slower progress because you're not training. So I have found through sheer trial and error that the most effective training frequency for the front lever for me is 3 times a week, which is why I recommend it. It's the perfect balance between training it enough and not overdoing it. Whenever I'm training for the front lever, I always make sure to train it before my main workout session starts so that I can give it everything I've got. If you try to train front lever progressions after your main workout session, then you will be way too fatigued to hold them properly. It will become much harder and you'll find it really difficult to hold them with good form. When it comes to front lever training, form is everything. Holding front lever progressions with proper form will allow you to make more efficient progress in the future. If you hold front lever progressions with bad form, then it increases the risk of injury, so it's always important to make sure that you're holding them with proper form. Therefore, I recommend holding front lever progressions at the beginning of the session to not only give them everything you've got, but also to hold them with better form and to avoid injury. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then let me know in the comments below. This has been Ashton with Ashton Fitness. Now go practice those front lever progressions.